Time for wiring, the fun part. So you need a ground wire for every single button to daisy chain from the PCB. So what I do, I use these little things, these little gold things called quick disconnects. You get a piece of wire, just thread to the end, the insulation off it, twist it so it's nice and straight. I don't know if you can see this or not. And then I kind of bend a little bit at the end over on itself. Then what you do is you get this. It's got two little holes in it. You kind of stick one of the wires into one. Get it straight enough. Good. You get the second one. I've already done one here. And then stick that into the other hole. And what you get a pair of pliers, and you just kind of push these down, crimp these so they hold in place. Alright, and now what you have to do is get a piece of electrical tape, so this, and just electrical tape it. Just like so. Fucking up my electrical tape, Eddie Murphy. Alright, so insulate it like that, and now what you have is a daisy chain effect. So I don't know if you can see this, but I'll zoom in a bit. These just slide onto your contact points. And I'll just zoom in. So what you're going to have is this point here will go to the PCB, which sits about there. You solder that on, and you have what is effectively a daisy chain on every ground point for each button, which they all link. So it goes from there to there. This one will go to that one. Get another piece of wire. It goes to that one. This one goes to that one, and to that one, to that one, and then to that one, and then it ends. So and you just keep doing the same thing with these little things. So you can't really zoom in on it. So yeah, I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. But that's the start of it. Just two pieces of wire into these, which just slides onto the contact point of the button, like so. I'll do it for one, shoot it with one hand. And it looks like that. So once you finish the daisy chain, it should look something like this, and it just goes like so. Doesn't matter which of these, which of the contact points you put it on for the buttons, like left or right, doesn't matter, as long as it's the same for every single one. So you just connect each one, like so, down. So I'm putting mine on the right. And there you go. That's what it looks like. This will solder onto the PCB, and you have it ground done. Alright, so here's the PCB, and now we gotta get all this stock solder off, because we don't want that there. We want to put proper solder on there. So what I've got here is what's called a desoldering braid. And I'll show you how to use it in a minute. Basically what you do, you get your soldering iron, make sure it's nice and hot. You put the braid over the piece of solder, right? And then you just put the tip of the soldering iron on top of the braid, and the solder melts into this wire. It strips it off the circuit board. So yeah, let's show you doing that. Alright, so this is what it looks like after you take all that solder off. So it looks a lot smoother, and the points are showing. Alright, so now I'm going to screw the PCB back in. Don't forget to put these little start buttons back in with their little rubber stoppers. So that way I can start soldering the wires. So they're all in there, and then we can just get this. So screw that back in nice and tight. Hope I haven't fucked it up by burning it or breaking wires and etc. Take that back in there. Now these things, you don't actually need these in here. I like to keep the wires, but shit. The marker switches, these things, you don't need these, so you can just cut them off the base. It probably would have been smarter to cut these off when I first moved it. Yeah, but you know, whatever. Yep. Alright, so now the PCB's back in, buttons are in, and start wiring soon.